going on, everybody? I am your host, Juice Wayne, and Gotham has finally returned for its final season, and we're gonna go ahead and jump in and we're gonna talk about this episode. I am a little rusty on my reviews, so bear with me, but I do have to say this right at the start, and I think a lot of people are gonna agree with me on this. This whole episode was not as good as that freaking millisecond that we saw of Batman in the trailer for the next episode, which is not the next episode, but you know, the trailer for the whole season of Gotham. Yeah, that millisecond of Batman had nothing on this freaking episode. I think we can all agree on that. But jumping into this review, these thoughts, whatever you want to call it, on this episode of Gotham, like I said, it's cool that the show is back. Personally, if I had to say right off the bat what I thought of this episode, thought it was okay. I didn't think anything like was crazy awesome about it, but I didn't think there was anything terrible about this episode either. I thought it was just a decent episode. I will start off by saying that intro, I wasn't really a big fan of it. You know, the whole intro of like they were all loading up their guns. It looked really cool, and of course them all shooting everything was kind of cool. We saw that in the trailers for just a bunch of the teases for this upcoming season. The reason why I didn't like it though was, I know it was like, oh, it's just showing you into the future what's gonna happen, which would have been cool had this episode not had a whole thing where Jim Gordon shoots Penguin and then Penguin's all like 100,000 bullets or whatever for anybody that kills Jim Gordon, because now we know for the rest of the season that whole like bounty on Jim Gordon's head is meaningless. It's 100% meaningless, because we know in the future, in 391 days or whatever, that freaking Jim Gordon and Penguin are going to be A-okay. Well, if you want to be that picky, they're going to freaking do a 10-year time jump and Jim Gordon's going to be there, so they're all going to be friends. Yeah, I know some of you guys are thinking exactly that, but at least in a 10-year time jump, Jim Gordon and Penguin could still totally hate each other and not work together at all. But since we saw this happen in the episode where freaking Penguin's all like, he shot me, I want him dead, we know in 300 plus days they're gonna work together, which, you know, that personally just think that's kind of just undermining that intro or undermining the episode, the whole season, to be honest. So I thought that was kind of lame. The intro was cool, but as for story development, as the way the story goes on, I didn't like that. Moving that along, we know this episode was just an intro episode to No Man's Land. It was to show you what everybody's been up to for the last 3 months, how things have been divided, who's the biggest one. It's cool that Penguin has the most land. I pointed this out in a previous video, but I like the idea that he got a lot of the most land because he found out how to make bullets, and in post-apocalyptic scenarios, which this is just for Gotham, not everybody else in the world, but in end-of-world scenarios, if you have bullets, you're gonna be the big dog. So I like the idea that Penguin actually has the most land because he's able to produce bullets. I thought that was really smart on the part of Gotham. And then, of course, in the rest of the episode, we heard that freaking Mr. Freeze and Firefly are still warring with each other. We know that the Sirens protect all women in their area and that guys can come in, but only for a fraction amount of the time and something like that, which I thought that was kind of a little cool feature because they were saying no men in that area in the previous season. I thought Barbara was just gonna hate all men, but it's cool that she's just doing it to like protect women in this situation, so that's kind of admirable. And then, of course, you have people like Scarecrow and just everybody else that's taking over other parts of the land. And of course, the GCPD has their own area where they're taking care of all the people that can't take care of themselves. So that was basically a bunch of the start of the episode. And then as we got into it, we found out that Penguin's kind of side, since he has all the bullets, he wants to make trading deals with, you know, people like Barbara that have food apparently, and I don't know how. I hope they explain it later on, but she doesn't run out of food for some reason. So I don't know if she's sneaking it in or they just have a bunch in that area. I'm gonna be really interested to see how they, you know, explain that, if they do at all. But we know that Penguin wanted to make a deal with her, and of course Tabitha doesn't want anything to do with Penguin, and she steals the one bullet that will be her death sentence later to actually try to kill Penguin. And I thought this was really cool. Maybe cool is not the right word, but it was a nice little foreshadowing that that bullet that she said was for Penguin was actually going to be the cause of her own death. Before we jump into the death of Tabitha, I do want to just give a little applause to Gotham for actually having a storyline of Bruce Wayne trying to fly some supplies in, because he's a billionaire. He should be able to do whatever he wants. He should have a bunch of resources outside of Gotham. So I'm glad that they did that in the first season, or I should say the first episode, not the first season, but I'm glad that they used that freaking Bruce Wayne is a billionaire and has resources to try to help out the city, or at least help out the people in the GCPD area. So hats off to you, Gotham. I love that you did that, because it's little storylines like that that do matter. But of course, that helicopter that was flying in gets blown out of the sky, and that leads to the confrontation between the GCPD, Penguin's men, and the Lobo people or something like that. I forgot what their name is already, but they were just throwaway characters that all got killed by Penguin. Of course, after a standoff, there's a fight. Tabitha shows up. She starts killing a lot of Penguin's men. She tries to kill Penguin, and it leads to her death, where she ends up getting stabbed by Penguin because he just so happened to freaking put that knife on that new boot he had, which was a smart idea, Penguin. But Tabitha dies. Barbara sees it, and now she and Penguin are going to be feuding for the rest of the season, it looks like. I have to say I was surprised and not surprised that Tabitha died. I was surprised that she actually died so fast. I really thought they were going to carry on her character for a little bit, at least a few episodes, maybe mid-season. I did think she was going to die this season because, you know, she's not really a big character or anything, so they could just kill her off before the 10-year time gap and all that jazz, so they don't have to explain her story. Did not think she would die in episode 1, because a lot of people always escape their death in freaking, people come back to life in this show. So I didn't think that she would die right away in episode 1, but I will say that it's cool that they did just kill her off, because we have so many characters that need to happen in the next 11 episodes that, yeah, it's probably best just to get rid of some of their characters. If they wanted to kill a character each episode, I'd be totally cool with that, because there's only 11 left, and there's a lot of characters being introduced and a lot of stories to be told. So yeah, killing Tabitha, really not a big deal with me. For me, I've said that they should have killed her character off a while back. But yeah, I just didn't think it would happen in episode 1. So, cool. Also, going back to who blew the helicopter out of the sky, let me know in the comment section down below who you think it was. Jeremiah, right? I'm pretty sure we're all thinking Jeremiah. Speaking of Jeremiah, we got to see Echo in her kind of Harley Quinn garb. It's going to be really interesting to see how she's going to paint her face and everything like that. But she snuck into the GCPD, and she put ha 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 with the eyes over the map of, you know, the GCPD and all the territories and stuff like that. So just kind of hinting at, yo, Jeremiah's still out there, and when will we see him in the next episode? Will we see him in an episode later? I don't know. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens. But yeah, that was a cool little, just her showing up, them teasing Jeremiah, because you know he's going to be a big part of the season, and she's just coming in, like, kind of just leaving her mark, like, yo, I'm back, bitch. That happened at the same time as Gordon getting a message from people outside of Gotham saying that he has friends. What do you think that is? I honestly, at this moment, have no idea what that could be. I mean, it could just be people outside of Gotham that want to help, or could it be some kind of hidden organization? Could it be the people that are working for Bane? Could it be that military force that's going to come in? That's a very possibility. That's a possibility when I think about it. But it'll be really interesting what that's going to be. I think that might be actually Bane. I'm going to put my money on that. But if you have another theory, let me know in the comment sections down below. Lastly, the only other thing I thought that had some significance in this episode was Selina Kyle. And we got to just see how she is so beaten down by being paralyzed by Jeremiah. And it's taking a toll on her, and it's taking a toll on her relationship with Bruce. I mean, no longer is she the, like, don't leave me kind of person. She's all like, man, I can't believe I'm friends with you. It got me freaking shot, and now I'm paralyzed. You should have just let me die. She even see that she tries to kill herself, which that was pretty powerful. That was pretty crazy. Like, and she's just saying, you should have let me done it. Do it. Sorry, Southern charm. But we're at the freaking point where Selina wants to kill herself. That's how much she hates life right now, which is insane. And then we had that creepy nurse, which kind of looked like Harley, to be honest. Like, I know she was all weird and stuff, but I was like, whoa, is that Echo? At first, I had to really pay attention to the character, but her face was all white and her eyebrows were really weird, and I was all like, wait a minute. But yeah, so it was just really weird. She kept saying, you gotta go see the witch. Who do you think the witch is? You think it's going to be another character that's being introduced? Or do you think it's going to be freaking Ivy? I do not want it to be Ivy because, like I said in previous videos, I do not want them to repeat storylines. I don't want it to be that Ivy is going to be the one to fix Selina when she's already done that before. So I'm really hoping it's not going to be Ivy. but I feel like it's gonna be Ivy and there's gonna be like the witch. But I don't know, we'll wait and see. I'm hoping it's somebody different. I hope it's not Ivy, but we did see a clip of Ivy talking to Bruce before. Bruce wants to go see this witch because he asked, where can I find her? So I'm really, please don't do that, Gotham. I don't want repeat storylines. But we'll just have to wait and see what happens. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry if this review wasn't the best. I gotta get back in the groove. Like, if I see more stuff in the episodes and I'm like, oh, that's really good talking points, I'll definitely develop that over the season. But this was the first episode. Like I said, didn't think it was the best type of episode. Didn't think it was a bad episode. Thought it was just kind of meh. That trailer for this season or the next episode was fire, though. And I will be breaking that down. So you will be getting a review first. Hopefully, the breakdown trailer in the next day or two after this video goes up. And yeah, because man, that Batman, I'm telling you, that was way better than this episode. I'm not gonna lie, that's just my personal feelings. But you know me, anytime you throw Batman at this, at my face, I'm just like, oh. So yeah, I'm really excited for that trailer. You will definitely have a breakdown on this channel. So now you can expect reviews followed by breakdowns and other Batman stuff in between that if I can upload it on time. But yeah, that's it. As always, ladies and gentlemen, wait, I was about to go into my old intro, but guys and gals, if you have an Instagram account and you want to go follow BATfromtheBOX, I post daily stuff about the Batman. Why wouldn't you want more Batman in your life? Definitely go follow it. Also hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any Gotham content that I'll be posting for the rest of this freaking final season. Also turn on notifications so you don't miss any of that. And check out older videos because why not? Older videos are great. But as always, I am your host, Juice Wayne, and I still don't freaking have an outro. But it doesn't matter because Batman is awesome.